Ladies and gentlemen, watch my segment prior to this one. As you know, Hunter Biden agreed to plead guilty to federal tax charges and other charges. He's been charged with federal crimes on a number of topics, and this will expedite impeachment. Okay, impeachment is about money altering U.S. foreign policy. That's what it's about. Okay, I know this might be too difficult for the wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats who look at this and say, "Well, the system works. Hunter was charged also." It's like, no. Hunter and Joe, Bill and Hillary also, and I think Hillary will be the 24 nominee, but they committed crimes. Okay? Yes, it is a partisan thing to say, but like Christopher Hitchens, the great Christopher Hitchens has stated years ago, it's okay to be partisan if you're right. If you're on the right side of history, if you're correct about something. Okay? They did commit crimes. Trump did not. You have an entire system protecting one political side going after Trump, not even the Republican Party, just Trump. Okay? And we see what's going on. There's a reason that Trump gets almost half the electorate, yet 98% of media is after him every single day, 24/7. Okay, that should tell you something. When almost half the country, when half the country, when you look at half the country, says, yeah, we're not believing this nonsense. And you can see the double standard with Clinton and private servers. Okay, servers are a greater dilemma to national security than boxes. If you can't see that, if you're like this wonderful national security expert or liberal Democratic Party attorney, or like if you can't understand basic logic, computer servers for 4 years running outside the United States government. It was never about private email. It was never for 1 second about private email. It was about computer servers siphoning classified data, and Clinton's team deleting 30,000 emails that, without government oversight, that could have been also classified, many of them. And those were her attorneys. I mean, they look, the list of crimes committed is unbelievable. But you cannot, there's not a country in the world that would allow the top diplomat to have his or her own private servers, except only in America. And President Obama's administration made a complete mockery of classified data. He knew. He lied when he said he didn't know that Clinton had private servers. But the entire planet, almost certainly according to Michael Hayden and other intel officials, infiltrated those computers that Clinton ran. It's not rocket science. Even the Honorable James Comey said that was likely. But he said there was no intent. So the double standard is there. Okay? And if there's a double standard, you have to then look at it and say, why isn't Trump being held to the same precedent, to the same standard as Clinton? Okay? If you don't understand that, then you're probably a narcissist, and you're just the arrogance and hubris is unbelievable. Okay? You don't treat Clinton in a different manner than you treat Trump. You don't treat Hunter in a different manner also. Just because he's pled guilty today doesn't mean that it's the same thing and the system's working. That the guilty plea for tax issues completely misses the mark. You're talking about graft, bribery, pay-to-play schemes, quid pro quo, and kickbacks. Serious issues to national security. The New York Post has emails written. Joe is the big man, so Joe Biden lied about Hunter and not knowing about Hunter's business because Joe was Hunter's business. You think, okay, the Bidens and Clintons do not know how to run a business. It's Tammany Hall. Their business is politics and the United States government. So you do a lucrative venture with them, you're not going to get investigated. It's pretty obvious. So you do a lucrative venture, and you get a prosecutor forced out, and no, it was not. This is the most absurd rebuttal. Oh, well, the prosecutor wasn't doing his job. It's not the American vice president's responsibility, nor is it the right of any American official to force out the prosecutor of another country. I mean, how much of a narcissist do you have to be? And then that country's being invaded, has been invaded for a year now under Biden's watch. Gee, what a coincidence. Hit subscribe to this channel right now to read my writing on the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, the Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com. To my new Patreons, thank you. To the super thanks, thank you. I know there was a super thanks the other day. I wanted to thank you, but thank you. Become a member of the channel. To the members, thank you so much. But impeachment is going to take place even faster now because everyone on the planet knows they're going to impeach Biden on actual serious felonies that he's a part of. Okay, altering U.S. foreign policy, forcing out a prosecutor when you didn't have to. The entire planet can say that the prosecutor had to go because he wasn't doing his job. Not your business. It's the country's business. It's not your business to say what another country should do with their government officials. Furthermore, we didn't have Hunter's laptop when Democrats were impeaching Trump on, God forbid, asking if Joe committed a crime. They impeached Trump for asking if Joe Biden committed a crime when forcing out a prosecutor who would have investigated an oil and gas company Hunter was on. And then they indicted him in New York, only Democrats. And then also a special counsel that indicted him. Biden's DOJ levels a second special counsel because, of course, the first one amounted to absolutely nothing. The Mueller probe. Mueller time. Remember the giddy, gleeful, wonderful, morally superior liberal Democrats who, by the way, I mean, an unarmed woman lost her life in January. I don't see any outrage. It's really unbelievable when, like, a lot of morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats, they look in the mirror. It's like that old Saturday Night Live skit. They're like, I'm good enough. People love me. And they like wake up into the world like, I'm going to be a fighter for truth and justice and morality. Meanwhile, no concept of God or the afterlife or whatever, but, it's a morality and wonderful. And, tables are turned. Oh, we're going after our direct political rival. Oh, all of media is obsessing over Trump, but not one article really investigating Hunter or Joe. But, of course, the New York Post does, and they get suspended by Twitter. Oh, you want a Ministry of Truth? Just like in George Orwell's 1984, no problem. Yeah, that we're the good, morally superior liberal Democrats. 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves? Oh, gee, that, I didn't read that. That must have been in the footnotes of AOC's Green New Deal. I mean, the hypocrisy is unbelievable. But see, what they call whataboutism is actually hypocrisy. The double standard. Clinton with servers and Hunter with, the laptop contents Jimmy Kimmel would have obsessed over forever. Late night would have had a field day if it was Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. Oh, but they don't say a word about Hunter. It's a racket. And then you have Hollywood, which is the epicenter of immorality and criminality, and the greatest, most depraved, the greatest narcissists and the most depraved people. Of producers and directors, the nastiest, most disgusting, most vile characters who are now leveled against Trump because Hollywood doesn't like Trump. Because Trump, in 2 seconds, conquered Hollywood with the Apprentice. He just, whatever he touches, he actually, becomes president, the Apprentice, he's a billionaire, and they can't stand him. But the people who can't stand him, reside in the epicenter of immorality and depravity. And so you have Hollywood after Trump, then you have Democrats who just accept money from the entire planet, like Tammany Hall, and then alter U.S. foreign policy, according to the New York Post, Chuck Grassley, Ted Cruz, and the impeachment. And you look at this entire picture, and nobody ever says, hey, you know what? Most people don't like Trump because they're told not to by media. not because of the good things he did as president. Give me your thoughts below. Impeachment is imminent. Give me your thoughts.